Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable Madden and 2K coins on the market. And of course, do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. A link for their website is at the top of the description. What's going on, guys? Today we are here with an updated safety tier list. It has been about a month and a half since the last safety update, and it is severely overdue. So today we have a bunch of names to talk about. There are already a bunch of new names on the tier list, so pause if there's a name you want to see. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. Okay, so getting us started is Haloti, and not his defensive tackle, his out of position free safety. He was honestly a pretty solid card. I've played against him a couple times. He's definitely tough against the run because of his impact block and his block shed. That's really like having 96 impact block for a safety, but also weighing 340 pounds is not normal. However, as a user, he's not going to be the greatest with 87 COD, but can be used. I've seen him a couple times on the Eagles teams. He's okay. He's nothing crazy or anything like that. So with that being said, we are going to throw Haloti at, we'll throw him low B tier. Low B tier for Haloti. Can be a solid card in a theme team, but outside of that, you're not going to see much of him. So next up, we have the Honey Badger card, and this one's interesting because as far as physicals go, he's top tier. I mean, he's got 95 jumping, he's got great COD, good speed, good acceleration. However, the problem is that he's 5'9", so he's going to struggle out there in the current meta. You know, most likely if it's him versus Carmichael, he's not going to end up on the good side of it, most likely. However, shorter cards can play in this game, but I still feel like he is limited as far as his KOs go. And you kind of have to user the card if you're going to use him, and if you're going to user the card, he's going to be smaller, so it's going to be tougher to make those, like, he's going to be tougher to lurk with him. So to me, the abilities on this card aren't really perfect, and it's not like his X factor is that good for KOs either. So for me, Tyrann Mathieu on a theme team can be tough, but really outside of a theme team, I think he's B tier. Maybe even lower than that, you could debate, honestly. And an example of a card that's like a really good user and not really a good over the top guy would be Ted Hendricks. Ted Hendricks, you don't really see Ted playing over the top anymore. You just don't. But as a user, he's still one of the best in the game. If this was a user tier list, Ted Hendricks might be top 3. He might be. He's still 6'7". Same with Julius Peppers, guys like that, which is really nice. But Tyrann Mathieu is a card that you kind of have to use in the box, but he's not really cut out for the box. So next up, we have the MCS Derwin James, and don't worry if you didn't watch any of the MCS streams, you are able to still get this card, and he's still pretty good over the top, but I think right now he's gonna be used more as a box safety. He does get free enforcer, free pick artist, deep out zone KO. So honestly, I mean, good abilities if you want to play him over the top, deep out zone, and if you're using him, I would just run free pick artist on him, honestly. But a pretty good looking card, man. At 6'2", can play man, can play zone, can stop the run. Block shed, impact block aren't the best, but you know, tackling, pursuit, or to get tackling, pursuit, hit power, all look pretty good to me. So Derwin James, we're gonna throw him. So like he's just not, like, Ted Hendricks is too tough, man. Ted Hendricks is a very interesting card because we'll talk about Ted Hendricks real quick. Ted Hendricks, I know we just talked about him, but just to kind of refresh you guys, he's 6'7", 94 speed. So I'm taking that. I'm simply taking that. And even though he doesn't have any crazy deep zone KO, I like pick artist or anything, that size to me is just still too elite not to use. So yeah, that's why I still value Ted Hendricks. And he's going for about, I mean, you can get him for like 200, I guess. I guess he sold for 170 at some point, which is interesting, but that's why Ted is still where he is, and I'm sure there's not going to be much pushback on that rating. So next up, we have Rodney Harrison, the legend Rodney Harrison, LTD with 96 speed, 97 acceleration, good zone, good man, not the best press guy, but he's a safety, so it's not that big of a deal. And then tackling wise, he's all green, it all looks good to me. He's 6'1", 220, so a big body. His cards always play super solid, and for the abilities, with him being a legend, he does get 3 player-specific ability slots, which again is a big W. And honestly, some pretty good abilities you're able to run. He does get deep out zone KO, 1 AP. You also can run free pick artist. If you want to go flat zone, say you're mixing in zone and man, you can go deep route, deep out zone KO, and free pick artist on the card. So, and also tackle supreme if you're having problems against the run. So honestly, Rodney Harrison, good flexibility with a good build. And great stats, great COD, can be a good user. I think this one's a no-brainer. I mean, he's definitely S tier. One of the better safeties right now in the game, without question. So next up, we have the Prez AKA card. And when he first came out, I think he was probably one of the better ones. Obviously, you know, that was over a month ago at this point, maybe a month and a week ago he came out. But yeah, 95 speed, still pretty good. I think he's more of a box guy now. You can still use him over the top. He still has abilities that are good for over the top. But I think I would probably just go like 1 AP pick artist on him. He doesn't even really need it. I mean, pick artist is nice to have on your user. Flat zone, mid zone. So he's kind of built to be a box safety, but also can run deep in and deep out with free crusher. Yeah, I mean, he's okay still. But his speed, I might look away from maybe using him over the top, because right now we have 99, 98 speed guys running around in MUT, and you know, you can use this card, but I mean, on a theme team, obviously he's still good over the top, but outside of that, I don't know. I probably would keep him. I would probably keep him down there. So we're gonna throw. I feel like Derwin and Prez are pretty interchangeable to me. Very similar cards. I'm gonna go Prez here because of the X factor and some slightly better abilities, but it is honestly very close between these two guys. So next up, we have free safety Nick Cross, and physically, I mean, this card looks crazy. He's got 96 speed, 99 acceleration, good agility, good COD, 6 foot 215. He's got crazy tackling stats with 91 tackling, 98 hit power, 96 pursuit, good man, good zone, good press. Really, a really good card. I think he's definitely going to end up being S tier here today. But ability wise, also pretty good. He does get pick artist and deep out zone. However, you're kind of locked in if you like to use him as a deep out zone safety, because you can't run deep in. I mean, you could run deep in, deep out if you're just going to go for KOs, but I feel like with someone with his build, you're going to want to run pick artist on the card. I mean, the lurker's kind of a waste to me. He can play in the box. He can play in the box with that mid zone. Also does get tackle supreme. So pretty good, pretty good versatility as far as the abilities go. But Nick Cross, we're going to throw him. We're going to throw him behind Rodney Harrison. And yeah, I think Rodney's better. Rodney, like Legends and Ultimate Legends automatically have an advantage because they just get better abilities. And unfortunately, abilities drive the game. So yeah, Rodney Harrison over Nick Cross. And there is one thing I want to talk about as far as these safeties go, and that is traits. And I'm not really too sure, like, really how much traits affect the safety, but Nick Cross also just doesn't have good traits. Like, all this is on no for Nick Cross. We're looking at Ed Reed's card right now. It's yes, yes for clutch, yes for big hitter, yes for high motor. Plays ball in the air, is aggressive, strips ball on no, which, again, if you're going for punches, you kind of want that. But if we take a look at Nick Cross's card real quick, and again, I'm not too sure how much traits affect the safety. I know they really do affect, quarterbacks and pass rushers, but I am kind of curious, as to how these traits affect the safety. I feel like plays ball in the air has to be a pretty important one. Also, big hitter's a good one because Nick Cross has this 98 hit power, but not big hitter on, which is interesting. High motor's also off, which I feel like is also pretty important. Clutch, I believe, like boost stats in the fourth quarter or something like that. I'm really not even too sure what the clutch trait does, but a lot of, the legend cards have it. Penalty undisciplined, plays ball in the air balance. So I don't know. Let me know down below. How much do you think traits affect safeties? I know how much they affect pass rushers, quarterbacks, but again, safeties, it's kind of a question mark. So next up, we have the LTD Bojack, and this card, again, very good cards. We're looking at top tier cards right now. 96 speed, 98 acceleration, 97 jumping, man zone press, good tackling stats. Traits, again, decent. I'm not going to talk about traits anymore, though, don't worry. And I also really like this card because of his X Factor. He does get free Zone Hawk, and it's going to be really interesting to kind of see what EA does with this promo down the road, because we're going to get some super overpowered X Factor for free. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Zone Hawk's kind of the start. I mean, just put him out there. I feel like the most broken one is still universal coverage, because it doesn't matter if you're playing man or zone. When that X Factor's on, if the corner's there, it's going to be a KO no matter what. Zone Hawk is really good for free. It's going to be on a good amount of the plays. Say you're playing like cover 2 or cover 3. If he's out there and he comes anywhere near a receiver, it's going to be a KO when that X Factor's on. He also does get deep in zone KO. Doesn't get deep out zone KO as well, which is kind of tough, and also does not get free pick artist, which also sucks. Not even 1 AP. You have to run it for 2 AP if you want to run it on this card. But, I mean, pretty decent versatility on this card. Very decent. And also, it could be interesting kind of playing him as a box safety as well. I know Eddie's more of an over-the-top guy in real life, but I feel like with mid-zone and that X-Factor and Enforcer, it could be kind of interesting. Also, Tackle Supreme on a user is pretty good too. So, I mean, good versatility on this card, being able to play him over the top or also being able to play him in the box. So, Bojack, to me, I think he's definitely S tier. I'm going to put him right to the top for now. Will he stay there? Probably not, but I think he's definitely solid. So next up, we have another AKA new class LTD safety, and that is Harrison Smith. 96 speed, 94 acceleration. I love using this card, by the way, right now. Even like not on a theme team, he's super nice. 6'2", 214 man zone. Not the best press guy, but you know, against the run, 94 impact block. We kind of talked about that earlier on Haloti. This is really good for a safety, and also he's got good weight. Also, you know, where's his strength? 87 strength, also pretty good for a safety too. For the abilities, again, pretty good. He can be a box safety. I feel like Eddie does get better abilities just because he's able to get that third ability slot that, you know, a lot of these AK cards are starting to get now. But also the X factor is decent. He does get avalanche run stuffer the same way that Jamal does, so that's interesting. Run stuffer is pretty good. I feel like again though, this card's good as a user. Pick where you want to play him. If you want to play him over the top, deep in, deep out, he can still be a good over the top safety outside of a theme team with free pick artist and KOs, but I feel like he's kind of moving into the box now. So Harrison Smith, still top tier. I'm going to put him right behind Bojack though. I like Bojack's abilities and his X factors just a little bit more. So next up we have Marcus Williams, and when they first revealed this card, I really didn't look too much into him but he's honestly really good, and I'm glad that right now, you know, 6'1" is still a good height for a safety. You know, last year's game, if you weren't using like a 6'7", 6'5" safety, you were playing the game wrong. Simple as that. But I'm thankful that, you know, 6'1" is still considered tall in Madden right now. But yeah, 96 speed with the acceleration of the match. He's got good jumping, good man, good zone, great tackling stats as well for a free safety, which is really nice. I mean, impact block chain not the best, but really like 95 tackling is super top tier. He also does get really good abilities and 3 ability slots, so he's at the par with these legends. Right now, he can obviously still play over the top. He gets free pick artist. And also, you're able to run either flat zone or secure tackler and no outsiders. So, you know, for just 2 AP, being able to be like a run stopper, a good coverage guy, if you want to run pick artist or enforcer, it's kind of up to you. You could even maybe run, you know, deep out zone, flat zone, or, you know, I like his versatility. It's honestly pretty good, and he's got good size, and he's a good tackler, as long as he's not getting picked up on a block. So with that being said, I am going to throw Marcus Williams up here like with Rodney Harrison. I honestly think these cards are very close to each other. But I like the Marcus Williams card a lot. I really do. Okay, so we are now into our top 3 and getting started here with Ultimate Legend, strong safety, Nolan Cromwell. No, why did I say it like that? Nolan Cromwell. Okay, I got it. 96 speed with the acceleration of the match, 96 jumping, 6'1", 200. Man zone press, checks all the boxes, even a pretty decent tackler. And of course, abilities, Ultimate Legend, he's gonna have good ones. Against free pick artist, deep out zone, you're able to run deep out zone, deep in zone, as well as free pick artist, which makes him one of the best over the top guys. Also flat zone, things like that. And even if you play a little bit of man, you can maybe throw in a little medium route KO, which is really nice. So yeah, Nolan Cromwell, we're throwing him to the top for now. So next up we have Kirby Joseph, and I'm not gonna lie, his name factors into his ranking here because being able to scream Kirby when he makes a play is definitely fun. But yeah, 97 speed with the acceleration at 96, 98 jumping, good awareness, play rec over in both those thresholds, which is also very important. He's got 97 COD, 96 agility. This card can be a good user. He's 6'1", man zone, catching, tackling stats, 96 tackling. He's amazing. And for the abilities, again, he's getting more of a deep zone guy, but does get deep in, deep out with free pick artists. You kind of get to pick where you're going to play him. Also mid zone if you want to use that down the road. Tip drill's free too. Even medium route KO if you want to play some man coverage. But I do like, you know, the ability. Say you know he's playing in the middle of a cover 3, run that deep in zone KO with that pick artist. It's free. If you know he's playing on the outside of like a cover 4 and an outside quarter, run deep out zone, run that pick artist, and you're good to go, man. And he's got a good build, and he's got top tier speed right now in the game at 97. So Kirby Joseph, to me, number 2. I mean, there is still an argument for Nolan being over Kirby just because of 3 player specific ability slots. But I like Kirby's physicals too much, and it's not like his abilities are bad. He still has good abilities, even though he only gets 2 player-specific slots. And finally, last but not least, we have Tariq Woolen, and he's the main reason. I mean, shout out to him. We're not seeing a lot of fillets out there because Tariq Woolen's the much better choice out of that fantasy pack. Right now, he's top tier at corner. He's top tier at safety. Also, obviously, really good as a user, but right now, I probably would play him over the top. And even once his speed kind of isn't top tier anymore, not on a theme team, you can use him as a user because he's a free safety, which is just insane. Tariq Woolen, 97 speed with the acceleration, the jumping, 97 play rec awareness, COD, man zone, 99 press, catching traffic, hit power, 97. Tackling, not the best because he's kind of a corner turn, you know, safety, but at 6'4", 210 with those stats, you really can't ignore it. It does not get three player specific ability slots, but does get, you know, flat zone, deep out zone, free pick artist, deep route KO. So just a really nice card, and I do believe that Tariq Woolen at 6'4" with 97 speed and those stats is the best safety right now in the game. So those are our top safeties right now. Free safety, strong safeties, all on one tier list. A very full tier list here today. Very, very full. Our top 5 though: Tariq Owens, Kirby Joseph, Nolan Cromwell. We got Eddie Jackson and Harrison Smith rounding out that top 5. Let me know down in the comment section who's too high, who's too low. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.